What's going on, everyone? I'm Daniel Rodriguez, and welcome to my non-spoiler review for the latest Marvel Cinematic Universe film. It's actually the 14th installment, 14 movies in already, almost 10 years in, man, fantastic. Benedict Cumberbatch is in this film. It's directed by Scott Derrickson. Of course, I'm talking about the Sorcerer Supreme, Doctor Strange. So in this review, I'm going to be giving you guys the pros and cons and final score, telling you whether or not you should go check this out in theaters or wait for rental. Of course, again, there are no spoilers in here whatsoever. I am going to be doing a separate video, which will be the spoiler review. Now, I saw Doctor Strange in IMAX 3D, and this is the best experience, the best way to watch this film. There is 3D and regular 2D, but if you guys have an IMAX 3D theater around you or, in your theater, make sure whether it's an hour away or, however far away, if you can get to the nearest one, it is totally worth watching it in IMAX 3D. And maybe some people will question, well, why should I check it out in IMAX 3D? It's Marvel, right? It's going to be explosions and predictable and everything. Well, no, this is a mind-bending film. The scale of this world is huge. This film is not like Guardians of the Galaxy or Ant-Man or any of the Avengers films. It has its own taste. Now, Benedict Cumberbatch as Stephen Strange is fantastic. He owns this role. Every single scene you see him in, you could tell he's having so much fun. He's not giving a half-assed performance. He's giving 110% performance. Now, excuse me for sounding cliched, but it's true. It's fact. The CGI in this film is mind-blowing. The fight scenes are visually stunning and different than any other Marvel film we have ever seen. Now, something that was very surprising and a big shock to me was how funny Stephen Strange is. Doctor Strange is a very fun and interesting character, and by the time you walk out of the theater, you want to see more. Also, Benedict Cumberbatch did a great American accent. As well, Stephen Strange, he is a funny guy, very sarcastic, but he does have a dark side to him, and a lot of the emotional scenes are between him and Rachel McAdams, which I thought those were some of the best scenes when they're together. So far, I have really enjoyed and loved every single Marvel Cinematic Universe film except Iron Man 2. I just like that film a lot. But out of origin story-wise, we're talking about Iron Man, Captain America, and, all these other origin stories that they've done over the years, even Ant-Man, his origin story. I have to say that Doctor Strange is my favorite origin story of any superhero. Again, I may be repeating myself a little bit too much, but just, again, Doctor Strange, his origin story is so interesting. And it's not something that's like this. It's not like that. It literally, it takes time and you're interested in, you want to see step by step how he becomes the Sorcerer Supreme. Also, massive props to Scott Derrickson, who is the Doctor Strange director. He did a phenomenal job. Now, throughout this review, you may have noticed that I've been talking heavily and praising Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange, the CGI, the action, the scale, the origin story. All of that is great and should be praised for because it brings new life into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's something new. It's not a rehash. It's interesting. It's fun. It's mind-blowing, acid trip fun where Doctor Strange goes, man. It literally is. I was like, and you can, you've seen the little previews, very little previews, but out of everything they've shown in previews and trailers, there's nothing until you actually see the film on the big screen. It is massive and beautiful. But you're probably thinking, what about Tilda Swinton? What about Chiwetel Ejiofor? What about Rachel McAdams? What about Benedict Wong? What about them? What about Mads Mikkelsen? And that's the thing. Those 5 people that I just said, Tilda, Wong, Mads Mikkelsen, McAdams, Chiwetel Ejiofor, their characters, like, they're there, but you don't get enough time with Baron Mordo, Chiwetel Ejiofor's character. He's there, but he's kind of like, he's complaining all the time a little bit. Like, he's very, like, you don't get enough with him. Like, Baron Mordo, we didn't get enough time for him, like, to actually care for him, really. Chiwetel Ejiofor, it's like his character he's a great actor, really great actor, but he's underused. Tilda Swinton, she's awesome in the film. She's great in the film. I guess she's used fairly enough. She is. But still, it's kind of like, yeah, Tilda Swinton was great, but still kind of underused. Like, she's there, and then she's not there for a percentage of time, and then she's there. Rachel McAdams, she's great with the scenes with Benedict Cumberbatch. She really is, and she's funny as well, or cute in some scenes. But she's there, but then she's not there. It's like her character's just kind of there. You don't really, like, emotionally wise, just whatever. She's there. And then Benedict Wong's maybe in the film for 5 or 6 minutes. I mean, he's cool with the thing he's in, but again, he's barely there. And again, with Mads Mikkelsen, who's the villain, Caecilius, or he kind of has a weird name. I wouldn't say he's a throwaway villain. Like, he's not like he's you wanna see more of him. You wanna know his backstory more than just the basics of it. You wanna see him more, and you're kind of like, well, maybe Mads Mikkelsen, you probably should have saved him and used him for some other bigger role, or something like that. But honestly, the villains weren't weak. Like, I wouldn't say they were weak as Suicide Squad, like Enchantress weak, like not like that. Like, the Doctor Strange fighting the villains was fine. The action scenes were great, but it's just the way that I guess they wrote Mads Mikkelsen's character, where he's like, okay, he's there, he's evil, and whatever. It's kind of like that. Like, there's a bigger threat looming of teases, and then we just have this guy right there, and it's kind of like, well, hey, I guess we have to see Doctor Strange to, fight somebody, so it's this guy. Mads Mikkelsen did give a really good performance, and there are fun action scenes between him and Doctor Strange. But then again, his character, of his villain, Caecilius or whatever, he's just there. He's like, whatever. He's there, fight, boom. And last but not least for the cons, it's not a huge deal, but the time frame, like, there really is no time frame within this film. Like, you can't tell, like, when is this taking place? Is it taking place during Age of Ultron? Is it taking place during this? I mean, when is this film taking place? And how many months passes by within this scene? How many does this, like, because time passes by in this film, but you want to know, like, has it been many months? How many months has he been studying? How, like, it doesn't really tell you. Has it been days? Has it been weeks? Has it been months? Has it been years? I mean, there really is no explanation within the time frame. Again, it's not a huge deal, like, that ruins the film. It'd just be nice if we could know how much time has passed from beginning to end. Overall, I had a damn good time watching Doctor Strange in IMAX 3D. It is a very fun film, mind-bending, visually stunning. The action is, the action's like, I can't do it, but if I had, like, the Sorcerer's Supreme powers, man, it's so new because you're new to the action, and you're like, how would this happen? Like, comic book to animation to actual real life, the screen. And Benedict Cumberbatch just makes this character awesome, and he brings it to life, straight ripped from the comics onto the silver screen, and it totally works. Again, some of the characters were very misused, and it is Doctor Strange. It's all about Doctor Strange, and these characters kind of guide him in a way. But Baron Mordo, it's kind of like he's there, and it's like whatever. And then Mads Mikkelsen, he's a great actor, and his character is like, you want to know more, but he's there, and they fight, and then that's it. So there are problems. It's not a 10 out of a 10, but it still is my favorite origin story of any superhero film. Marvel has done it yet again. It is a great film, just not a 10 out of 10. It's not like the best thing in the world, but it still is a fun ride. And if you guys have not seen it, what are you doing? Go to the theater right now. Take your friends, take your kids, take whoever you want, because you guys will have I can't see someone walking out and frowning and saying they hated this film. There are a lot of scenes. It's funny, it's charming, and a lot of scenes that will have you smiling. There really is no scene in here where you frown, there's no scene where you're bored, like where you're like, come on, get it over with, let's go. Like, there really is no scene like that. It's a fairly well-paced film. So I'm going to give Doctor Strange an 8.5 out of a 10. Is it worth watching in theaters? Well, if you didn't pay attention during the review, yes, and yes. Definitely a day one Blu-ray buy when it releases. I'm going to be buying it, checking out the special features and audio commentary. Again, Scott Derrickson did a fantastic job. Hopefully he'll direct the sequels to come. And I can't wait for Doctor Strange to interact with all the other Avengers in the future. Thanks again. Make sure if you enjoyed this review to smash the like button, comment down below, tell me what you guys thought about Doctor Strange. Did you watch it? Are you going to watch it? Share this with your friends. Hit that subscribe button for more. Make sure to check out my spoiler review for Doctor Strange, which I will put a link down below in the description when it is uploaded. Till next time, I will see you for this. This is the last superhero film of the year. I'll see you next year for Logan, Wonder Woman, Justice League, Spider-Man, Thor, and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I'll see y'all next year for superhero-wise. Movie reviews every single week. As always, check out the channel for more. A lot of content here. Bye-bye.